We are here with Hiro Sakanashi, one of the head coordinators from the Japan Winter League. For players who haven't heard of the Japan Winter League before, how could you describe someone?
It's easier to say. It's a Japanese version of a California Winter League. We have a month of the league, and then what we are trying to do is also to develop the players during the time of their stay, so that not only they play games and try to find a team for themselves. We also try to develop the players, and therefore they have more chances open for next year.
So essentially, it's a mix between a developmental league and a showcase league for players who are free agents who want to get signed.
Right.
I know that you guys have also gotten quite a few NPB players and professional players who are currently signed. So it's also a developmental league for players who just want to get better in the offseason as well. So it's opportunities for both currently signed professional players and amateur players who are free agents and want to get signed.
We have two leagues in the Japan Winter League. One is at the moment called the Advanced League, and then the other one is Tryout League. Advanced League is for the NPB, KBO, CPBL players for them to improve their skills. We started this 2 years ago, and those players that still in the developmental phase in their teams, and or whoever was injured whole season and trying to get back in shape for the next season, the teams simply send those players, and then we try to help developing the players in the league while they are playing the games. And then the tryout league is more for the players who's looking for a team to play the next season, and their opportunity can be anywhere in the world at the moment. So a lot of foreigners or the overseas players came there to try to look for a team to play in Japan.
When you say the opportunities are anywhere in the world, so basically through the Japan Winter League in the Tryout League, they could potentially sign outside of Japan?
Potentially. So because of your help, the guys can play in Europe. Guys can also have a chance to play eventually in the NPB the farm system. So that 2 years ago we had an American kid coming from the States to do the tryout, and he was in the tryout league, and then in that year he signed with an independent ball team in Japan, and then after that he went to the tryout in this farm team NPB team, and now he's currently playing for this Niigata Oisiks. That's only in the farm system of NPB, but it's in the system. So he's probably the first guy became professional in Japan as an import from the Japan Winter League.
And what did he have professional experience in the USA?
I don't think so. I think he came out of college, then joined the Winter League.
And I know that what is attractive to Japanese teams are big power hitters or big flamethrower pitchers. Is that true? That's what I've heard, because they don't need another fast, slappy leadoff guy. They're looking for someone to, cash in runs and do some damage.
Yeah, normally every time the scouts comes, the first thing they ask me who can hit and who can pitch, and then they don't really ask me how fast they are. More likely, every time, also after the Japan Winter League, some teams writes me a message, and then they're like, "Hey, we're looking for a power hitter. hey, we're looking for a pitcher that who can throw hard and then dominate in the league and something like this. So the first thing that they really look for is the guy who can hit in the cleanup spot, or a guy who can dominate 6-7 innings to compete in the league.
And this player you were talking about that is now in the farm system, did he fit one of those descriptions?
In the beginning, I didn't think so. I thought he was just one of the guys, but then when he was playing in Japan Winter League, he's left-handed hitter. Very nice kid. And then towards the end of the season, or the mid to end of the season, he started to hit the ball hard to the other way. I mean, the stadium that we use is quite big, and he was almost hitting it out to the opposite side. So we started to see him a little bit in a different way, and then he signed with the team in Hokkaido, and then I think the first game he hit 2 homers, and eventually I think he had almost 10 homers there last year. Then now he's playing the league.
Mm-hmm. And while we're on this topic, because I know Jimmy probably has a question coming up, so I don't want to go back to this. I've also seen, and I was a little surprised to see that that some players have signed that are very stylistically similar to Japanese players, like a David Brandt, for example. So it's not like you have to be a power hitter to sign through the Japan Winter League. It really helps if you are, but it's not, it's not open and shut if you're not that description.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dave Brandt case was very interesting because in that year he was not that he was the best player that the scouts can look for, but his presence, always he's running. He completely matched with the Japanese style of baseball, and one of the scouts really liked him. So that's when they started to have a conversation. During the season, all of the players liked him, and also the team. So when I was surprised that when he told me about his farewell, event in their field, I think that was very in my taste, it was very unusual for an import that can be sent back to his country, just so welcoming and happy ending and stuff. So of course the Japanese teams can look for the player like Dave Brandt, but then a lot of times they ask me how hard can he hit for the position players.
And it seems to me that a few of the things you just said, and I already know, there's a reason that Japanese teams don't sign guys without seeing them play first, because I also feel like they want to see what kind of character they have. And you've already mentioned a couple of times about how he was a nice guy and they really liked him and he fit in well. How important is that you not only are a good player, but you also possess that character and that work ethic that the Japanese appreciate and also preach to their own players?
Yeah, the work ethic is quite important, I think, because we practice a lot. I mean, lots of indie ball teams play on weekends, so the rest of the time they practice, but then they practice long, and then first the players really have to love the process, practices, also of course baseball, and then how much they can also blend into the team, which it's a completely new language. When you go outside of the city, then you only see the Japanese letters, and then not that many people can speak English in Japan, but then they they need to understand that culture and also the circumstances they have, so that they can eventually perform. And then I think just this month of the Japan Winter League kind of gives us as a coordinator to like kind of see how the players are, and how much I can recommend to the scouts about their personality. So it's really important how they are, and also how they play.
So, who are potentially interested in getting signed in Japan, since I'm sure most baseball jobs overseas guys who are interested in the Japan Winter League are looking to get picked up by a team. What opportunities are there outside of obviously the biggest goals would be like the NPB, KBO, CPBL, or MLB. But beneath that, since that isn't very easily achieved, what other opportunities are there through the company leagues, the industrial leagues, the different levels of independent leagues?
So currently we started to have more teams coming from CPBL and the KBO, and starting from this year, I think KBO opened a little bit more uh, spots for the imports, and also starting from this year, independent league, Shikoku Independent League, have 3 import spots on each team. So the past years, each team had just 1, 2, maybe imports there, but now they can have 3 imports to play there. So this last year, unfortunately, we didn't have anyone, but the teams came and they tried to look for good players to have in there. So indie ball leagues are getting more in Japan, and then we started to have more players going many different leagues. So that's big one. Industrial league, company league, it's challenging because they have to be in the company. So if you don't speak Japanese, maybe a little trouble. But at the moment, this economy is not so good, and company is a little bit struggling to hire people. So this year it might be a challenge, but they are also coming to watch the games. Of course, the big names like a Toyota, Honda. It might not
Panasonic.
be Panasonic. Panasonic baseball team actually is done after this year, unfortunately.
Oh.
Yeah, because of this. Because of this economic stuff. I mean, at the moment they're just gonna take a break, and then
Okay.
hopefully everything goes well. They're gonna come back, but we also have some other indie ball teams to come and scout. And last year, we had 2 guys signed in the team. So everything's open for everybody, and just they need to make sure that they perform well. They also need to like the culture, and also they just need to stay healthy.
And just to kind of give a rundown of the different independent opportunities there are in Japan, I know there's like the BC League and the Shikoku Island League, which are probably the top 2 independent leagues. Is that correct? I know a
Yeah.
lot of those teams like Ibaraki, they're looking to sign players who they can potentially sell to the NPB because they see something in them. But then there's also opportunities in like the Kyushu League, the Kansai League, the Hokkaido Frontier League, the Hokkaido Baseball League, which is a little bit more like of a developmental league. I know Tanaka runs Asahikawa B Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know they're actually more on the developmental side. I believe because they signed some players from Uganda who are throwing really hard, but are a lot like more raw with their talent, who they can potentially bring over and develop and get better to potentially find them opportunities in higher level independent leagues. But where do you think most foreign players, like import players, could have a chance to sign? I know the Hokkaido Frontier League is a big one, but are there other leagues that are starting to be interested in signing foreign players?
And maybe you can break
Yes.
that into also like those that have professional experience prior and maybe those that don't.
Yeah, okay. So Shikoku Island League and the BC League, they're one of the top leagues we have in Japan. And yeah, BC League is really high and better right now because they also have, I think, 10 to 12 teams, and they have two divisions, and lot of foreigners that came to play in the league kind of went up to the NPB. Shikoku Island League is also good. Currently we have also a couple of foreigners playing there. Those two are the biggest chance for many players to go up to NPB. Hokkaido Frontier League, I in my opinion, they are getting better, and but then I feel like they're more of the step up league for a lot of players. So they get to play there. They play 54 regular season games, I think. It's a lot of games they play, and then all these like Dave Brandt, Daniel Frey, and then we got a lot of foreigners play there, and then they really enjoyed being there. So that's also a league that also kind of come and try to sign as many foreign players as possible because they don't have any limitation. So that
And I know that
that league,
Hokkaido Frontier League, I mean, they're a relatively new league, right? I think they've only been around for like 4 years or so. And
yeah.
before they only had 3 teams, but now they have Betsukai and they're
Mhm.
so now they have 4 teams, and it seems like they're continuing to expand and sign foreign players. And from my perspective, it seems like a more professional version of like the Pecos League in the US. I mean, it's like not super high level as like say like BC or Shikoku, like or like the Frontier League in the US or the American Association or Atlantic, but it's still a great opportunity to put up some big numbers. The teams will take care of visas and pay and housing, and it's an opportunity to put up some numbers to potentially advance to a higher level independent league like McCoy Pierce did, for example, and Ben
Mhm.
Meyer.
Yeah. So all the leagues can provide visa for the foreign players. So that's a must thing that the leagues need to do. So that's also a plus side for everybody. And then we also have a Kyushu League in the south of Japan. We have 4 teams there, and last year we got 3 players signed, and then one team is in Saga. It's north of the island. They're just very unique. They have players from Guam, players from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, a lot of West Asian countries with a few Japanese players, and they also have a cooperation with the NPB team. So they're developing the players, but they're also chance for them to kind of get to be seen by the scouts more often than the other teams. So this Kyushu League is also developing. It's a quite good league compared to Shikoku and BC. It might be a little bit lower, but still it's in the island of the SoftBank Hawks. So they're playing against the minor league team of the SoftBank Hawks quite a lot in that region.
Mhm. That's really cool. Can you? I think someone listening is always trying to see where they measure up. Like, are these opportunities possible for me? And I'm not as involved with the Japan Winter League. Like, obviously, Jimmy's gone there and coached, and he's more on the front lines of it. But from kind of the outside looking in, looking at the guys that have signed in Japan, it seems like there's opportunity for just about anybody that can go there and showcase well without professional experience. And then also some obviously really good opportunities for guys that, maybe have that professional experience, maybe have played double A. But I've noticed like European players going, like the Austrian kid that signed too. So maybe you can tell us just a little bit about like, could someone without professional experience go to the Japan Winter League and sign in the BC League? Has that happened before through the Japan Winter League? Would you think that's possible? Or where are they most likely to end up if they come there and they showcase well, but they don't have that professional acumen?
Yeah, so to me, everybody has the opportunity to play in Japan, and they always have a chance, because I don't know, 'cause the scouts are not coming every day, but one day they show up, and then if a person performs 4-for-4 with 3 doubles, they immediately go and ask if he loves to play in Japan. So everybody has a chance to become a professional in Japan. If the players are not professional before, of course they can be a professional in Japan too. We had a guy, I think when Jimmy was there, Kaito. He's half Japanese, but he was born in the States, so he couldn't really speak Japanese. He signed with the Ibaraki team, but he was only coming from the college, I think, if I remember correct. So he didn't have any professional experience, but the team liked him. Then he actually signed with Ibaraki. Let's say, if I think of somebody else, all the players that went up to the Frontier League, I don't think they had a professional experience. They are coming from college, or they had this like a local league to play, or the European players. This year, Betsky signed a player from Poland, and now he joined 2 weeks ago, and he's gonna play there. And Asahiko League, we were able to send 2 players from Austria. So it's open for everybody. Everybody has a chance when the opportunity arises.
And I know that you mentioned scouts aren't necessarily there every day, but I know that you guys also have a lot of data. You live stream all the games. You're tracking everything like on the live stream with, is it with Trackman or Rapsoda, or like something similar, Japan's equivalent, that shows exit velocity, throwing speed, horizontal break, vertical break, all of that. So is there a chance for scouts to potentially, watch the game and see someone that they're interested in?
Yes. So the scouts remotely watching all the games. So before they show up, they already have a list of the players, and then they're like, okay, once I get here, I want to talk to this guy, I want to talk to this guy, I want to talk to this guy. And then they also check how they play on the day they show up. Then they're going to have a meeting after the game. And then they also give the players conditions of the contract. If they like it, they sign immediately, or they can just take it back and then try to think if it's possible for him to go. So we use this tracking system that's built in Japan, and then as you said, Jimmy, we also put numbers on the stream, velocity, EV, all the necessity numbers for the scouts to see. And then tryout side, we also use Trackman, and then the players can access to their data, and also scouts can access to their data. So the scouts can be monitored players through the data, monitored through the stream, and then eventually they come and then double checking if the players can be fit for their team or not.
I was actually quite surprised when I was there with the amount of scouts that were there, because I got to meet a lot of them in person, and like meeting representatives from the Cebu Lions and NPB and from the Dodgers and from the Mets organizations, like from NPB and MLB teams and organizations. That was impressive to see that they were there, like scouting the league. And then all of the different representatives from all of the different, independent leagues. And it seems like it's only grown, because now you mentioned that, the KBO, and I know the CPBL picked up, Daniel Catalan and Sarah Edwards. Um, how do you think it will continue to expand over this year and the coming years?
Yeah, I think it's gonna get bigger. I mean, it's getting more and more scouts coming to the league. I think last year we had more than 40 teams from all over the world coming to scout. In the first year, I don't remember how many we had, to be honest. So it's quite big now, and just like you said, Daniel Catalan, Sarah Edwards, they came there as the coordinators, and then they became coaching staff for the brothers in Taiwan. So also the coordinators, the coaches also have an opportunity to become a professional. So I think, I mean, I'm not the boss, but our boss Issei Washizaki, he's trying to plan to have this Japan Winter League becoming more like a baseball expo. He called it like this. So like he kind of wanna try to get this league as big as like a winter meeting or something like this. So I think we're getting towards that direction, because also NPB teams are coming more and more to send the players, and also started to come and check the leagues. And then we also have some MLB scouts that come in to watch. So it's getting bigger, and I'm looking forward to see how big it's going to be next few years.
So when is the league? When does it run, and where is it? Just so players who haven't heard of it can know a little bit more about when it is, what the registration period is, and how they can get signed up if they're interested.
So this year, the league starts on November 21st and ends December 18th. And the registration starts from June 1st as planned at the moment. We have the early bird deal from the start of the registration until end of August. The price gets a little bit cheaper. I can't quite remember exact price at the moment, but because of the situation with the economy, the price might go up this year a little bit, but still for the players from the States and Europe, I think it's still cheap enough. I don't say cheap, but it's not very expensive.
Can you maybe say what it was last year, and then what do they get for that? Because somebody that maybe is just listening, hearing about Japan Winter League for the first time right now, that would be something they'd be wondering is, what does this cost and what do I get? Obviously, they get to showcase themselves, play baseball for a month, and they have access to the coaches and the facilities. That's all been talked about. But maybe like from transport, accommodations, is the flight included, or do they have to pay their flight, meals? If you can kind of tell us what it cost last year and what extras are included.
So we have two plans, full schedule and half schedule. So full schedule, it costs for the early bird deal, it was 440,000 yen. So I think
It's around
$22
$3,000 or so.
right now.
I think it's around $3,000.
Okay.
But what does that include?
It's included with the accommodation, lunch on game days, and access to the facility, and transportation from the airport to the hotel, and then hotel to the airport when they go back.
And for players who are playing at
all
and all the gear as well.
yeah.
Sorry, real
And for
quick.
players who are playing at the Kozushinkan Stadium for the Tryout League, are they staying at that same hotel, which is pretty much right at the field?
Right. So the players that play in Koza Shinkin Stadium, they are going to stay in Refu Okinawa. It's only 5 minutes away from the stadium by walking, or you can actually see the stadium from the hotel. That it's that how much it's close. And then the players that not stay in the hotel. Last year we had a hotel about 15 minutes away from the stadium by bus. So we transported the players to the stadium and then drove them back to the hotel. This year, still we're looking for a stadium, so we cannot say where exactly, but we will definitely have the transportation system for the players, so they don't have to worry about they get there on their own and find a way to get there.
Real quick, do they have a roommate or a place to themselves typically?
They have a roommate or roommates,
Or
depending on how the hotel situation is going to be.
Okay.
But in Refu Okinawa, two guys are sharing a room.
Yeah.
Last year in for the Tryout League, four guys are sharing a room.
Mhm. And you said there's lunch included. Does that mean there's also breakfast because they're staying at the place, or do they responsible for their own breakfast? And do these rooms have like a kitchenette where they can make their own food and everything?
So the Refu Okinawa, the hotel near Koza Stadium, they have the breakfast is included. So
I heard from a lot of players that breakfast was amazing.
Yeah, it's
And
legit.
I still hear some guys talking about how great that breakfast was.
Yeah, it is. I also went there to eat once just to see how great it is, it was amazing. It's like if players can be there every day and eat that breakfast, that's luxury.
Yeah. So what does a week schedule look like? They're practicing and playing Monday to Friday and weekends are off, or is it 7 days a week? And what time of day does it end? Like then they have evenings free to go into the city and explore?
Yeah, so it's always depending on how many players we have on that year, but we plan to play 15 to 20 games during the time of the season, and usually we play 3 games and then have a day off, and then play another 2 games and day off, and then 3 games, something like that, just to make sure that players also get some rest. And then our goal is also for them to explore Okinawa, because it's a really nice city to go around. We try to give the same experience to the players, so we also have a complete day off for them to explore everywhere in Okinawa. Mostly we play 3 games in a row and then have a day off.
The island itself is amazing, and even in November, December, it's in such a tropical location that the weather is perfect that time of year too. And yeah, I couldn't speak more highly of my time there.
I think a lot of players might be wondering, if I go there and I invest in myself and everything, and then I'm lucky enough to get a contract, what do those contracts kind of look like? we don't need to talk about the MPB, but we can maybe talk about the different independent leagues and what a typical contract might look like. I know that's kind of a big question, but I think they're pretty good from what I've heard. So like comparing to, something you might get, like Jimmy used the Pecos as an example earlier. I think those that do sign are, they're taken care of. And it's not like they're getting rich overnight, but I think their expenses are easily covered. And I think they have a little left over to enjoy themselves, maybe eat out now and then.
Yeah. So depending on the teams, also the league salary is different, but of course the team is covering the visa and housing and all the transportation to the stadium to stadium. That's all covered. Then players are getting from 600 euros to, depending how experienced they are. Japan itself is cheap very right now, so even like you get the minimum salary of whatever the amount, they can definitely live by, and then they can save up some money too, unless the players spend all the money to something else.
And 600 euros is in US dollars is about 700 right now, just for those that aren't sure. Cool. Are flights included, like airfare?
Depending on the teams, some teams have the limitation of the cost, and then if the flight costs more than that, then the players need to pay. But it's mostly covered. I mean, I don't know how it's going to be next year with the current situation with the wars and the stuff, but I think it's doable for everybody to book flights within the cost that the team suggests.
Nice.
Awesome.
So before we finish up, if there's a player that's kind of on the fence of, whether they should go to the Japan Winter League or not, what type of advice would you give to them if they're, like, am I good enough? Like, do I have what it takes to potentially like actually go there and have a good experience? What would your advice be to that player?
I would say sign, register right now once it's open. Of course, the scouts are coming to scout the players that they really want. So, some players might not get opportunity to play in Japan, but just being there first is the success to play in Japan. And then past years we had more than 10 different countries joining the league, and then the guys also had a new friendship with lots of people, and as long as I know, they're still in touch. And some guys really loved how the league is structured, so that I have 2 or 3 guys come in last 3 years playing in Japan Winter League. And of course, we as a coordinator side, we're gonna do our best to also develop every one of the players that are coming there. We have a full support for the players to enjoy playing the games, and also help getting them better. Hopefully, in that way, we can help the players to sign in the team. So it's to me, if I was in their shoes, I would come. I'm not saying because of I'm involved with this, but it just seems like just the experience that they have the whole month of league is just, it looks so much fun. Everyone's having fun, and I really enjoy watching them.
Yeah, I remember Eric Brink signed up. He didn't have any intention to sign with a team in Japan, but he signed up with the Japan Winter League just to go and get the experience of playing in Japan, and like rather than just paying all this money on a vacation to go like travel in Japan, you get to go and play competitive baseball against, some really competitive players in a professional NPB spring training stadium. And the experience, I think, alone is worth the money.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was thinking, like, I went on a golf trip not long ago to Turkey, and I probably spent almost as much as, no, maybe not, but about half as much as the Japan Winter League almost, for a week. So you're going there for a month, and you get to play baseball and potentially get signed and make a bunch of friends, see Japan, just have a great experience. So it just sounds like a great baseball holiday for me and for anybody. But and then of course, if you're an aspiring professional, then there's the developmental aspect. So you're getting that. So you're coming out better. And then who knows, maybe you sign too.
Right. And also, if you cannot come for a month, we still have a plan for the half of the schedule. And the cost is a little bit cheaper. Of course, it's less games that they play, but still good opportunity for them to come and enjoy the time in Japan and also play baseball.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Awesome. So if any players have any questions about the Japan Winter League, they can obviously reach out to us at BBJO. But Hiro, is there a way that players could reach out to you and the Japan Winter League themselves if they have any questions?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. I'm on X. Not currently not being so much on Facebook, but anywhere they can find me with my name, Hiro Sakanashi. Instagram account I use as a Coach Saka. Usually I'm there more often than any other social network. So they can approach me anytime they want. And also the Japan Winter League Instagram pages. We have the regular version and then also English version. So either way, they can go and contact to the league. I'm in charge of the foreign side. So if they want to ask questions, probably the English version is better because that's where I can access to it more often.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Hiro, thank you so much for your time.
You guys gonna post the link in the podcast spot?
Yes. Yes, sir. And Jimmy can answer a lot of questions too. I mean, he's been there and lived it too. So like he said, they could also come to us. And then if it's something we can't answer, we could forward on.
All right, Hiro, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming on board. And for players who are interested in joining the Japan Winter League, make sure you book your early bird registration on June 1st, and we'll be sure to see you there.